guys, Frankie B here. First video in a long time. I'm actually in Germany. I've been doing a lot of travel lately, and it's been hard for me to actually get out and detect. But I actually got some decent ground time here in Ramstein. So one of my buddies, he found a sweet potential battle site where some U.S. Army Rangers took on some Nazis. So we're gonna go into the woods. We're gonna try to find the battle site. We're gonna see if we can recover anything. I am running my V3i. It's supposed to be rainy all day. You can see out my window. Maybe it's rainy, but hopefully we get a little bit of coverage from the trees out in that forest, and we'll see what we dig up. See you out there. All right, guys. I'm out here with the V3i, and I'm doing something a little non-standard, especially for everybody back in the States, and I'm searching for iron. All right, so where I'm at right now, in World War II, the Rangers were trying to retake this point that was held by the Nazis. It was a key point during this battle, and I'm trying to find the battle site. So searching for iron, that'll help you find shrapnel, things like that, and it can get you close to where the action was. And big chunk of iron right here. It's hard to see it. I have to break it up a little bit. Make it a little more recognizable. This is the tail of a mortar. Very good sign. So this bad boy, I should be close to where the German front line was. So this would probably be an American shell coming in, doing work. So I'm going to keep pressing on here. This is a good find. I'll keep you guys posted. All right, it's really rough digging out here. It's real rocky. There's a lot of sticks and stuff in the way, as you can see here. It's pretty heavily brushed. But another little good sign here. You can see this little bit here. It's probably difficult to have it focus, but this little piece of brass here, actually it's copper, I think, goes around the base of your artillery shells. So it's another good sign. We're kind of hopping all over the place. It's pretty difficult to find exactly where a small skirmish happened in the middle of the mountains. But it's about the journey, and we're getting there. I found another couple small pieces of shrapnel, like little iron pieces. Nothing crazy, but this is a good sign. All right, we're gonna keep pressing along this ridge here. I'm just gonna keep going across here. Hopefully we could uncover something. Hopefully something I could identify as, you know, German or American. Preferably a nice shell casing would be nice. That way I could just look at the bottom. I could distinguish where it's from. All right, guys, stay tuned. All right, so we've been moving across this ridge here. Probably covered at least 100 yards worth, and we found a lot of those rooster tails, a lot of those mortar tails, and a lot of shrapnel, a lot of fuses for them. We still haven't found any shells until now. We got our first shell casing, which means there was someone here. They were firing up this hill, maybe firing down the hill. We're about halfway up. The Rangers made their way up the hill while the Germans were defending from up top. Not 100% sure because I've never seen a shell casing with these rings like this. So it could be German, could be American. I do see some numbers and letters on there. I really can't make it out. But I will look further into this later, and I will put it in the wrap-up video. Luckily, I have my friend Tessay here. He's helping guide me on this journey. He's the one that actually looked into this spot and took me out here. So we're going to keep pressing along this ridge, and we're going to see if we can find more shell casings and kind of put this puzzle together. But we are definitely in the area of the skirmish, and we're definitely in the battle site. So we're going to keep going, see if we can't find some personal effects. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. I found something I've always wanted to find. You know, it's not complete, but I found a gun. I was just literally right there when I shot that little segment when I found that round, and now I found parts of the gun. Thinking M1 Garand. Look at that. That's your charging handle right there. There's a slide that goes along the side, and I also found a piece of gas tube. So I'm gonna keep searching around here, which means the barrel can be around here somewhere. Here's another piece of it, I'm assuming. So I'm gonna kind of grid right where I'm at and see if I can't find the gun barrel and have most of this gun, which would be absolutely amazing. But I also got to remember that where there's a busted gun, there's more than likely potentially the remains of an American soldier somewhere right here. He could have gotten blown down the hill. I don't know. He could have hit with a mortar. But all this is just running through my head right now. I'm super excited, super stoked right now. But we're going to press on, and we're going to kind of really grid this spot and listen for that iron. All right, guys. Bye. All right, guys. While I was rooting around here trying to find more of that rifle, I came across a shell casing, which my buddy Seth is holding. I think it might be German. It's pretty big, and but it doesn't look quite 50 cal size. It looks a little bit shorter, so it leads me to believe it might be German. German's up at the top of the hill, shooting down at our American Rangers coming up the hill.
Or they were elephant hunting out here. The German elephants are quite big. You need a nasty bullet for one of those blokes, yeah?
All right, so we're gonna keep swinging in this area. It's obviously hot. It's popping. There's a lot of good stuff going on right here. So I'm gonna kind of circle out. Once it starts to dry up, we're gonna keep pushing along this ridge because that's been our MO for the day. It's working for us. So I'll see you guys at the next hole. All right, we're still hot on the trail of our Rangers here. I dug up one shell. It's a really low signal. It's kind of sketchy, but I'm like, I gotta dig everything I could find out here so we can uncover what's going on. And one whole shell came out, and I noticed there's a little bit of rust on the side, so instantly I knew there's probably an end block from an M1 Garand down there, and I think I was right. So I got I got 3 whole ones and 2 missing the tip. Seth is going in deep. He got a little anxious. He sees me digging up the good stuff. He wants his slice of the pie. So he's going in. He's gonna try to see if he can't uncover a couple more, and then we're gonna push up this hill. We noticed we started finding a couple fired rounds.
There's a lot in there, man.
It's in there, man. Get her done. We're gonna push up the hill, and we're gonna make our way towards where we think the Nazis might have been hiding out, shooting down at our Rangers. All right, guys, to the next hole. All right, guys, I'm still out here. It's getting dark. It's getting cold, but I just dug this monstrous hole in the bottom of this foxhole that Seth had found while we were rooting through. So I'm like, yeah, I'll swing over it. I got a very faint signal. I'm like, yeah, it's probably just a shell casing or something like that. And then the hole got deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. It's probably hard to see. That's an end block, and 2, 4, 6, 8 rounds in it. This is unreal. Our boys were here. They might have taken this position after they took it from the Nazis. They might have just held up here and defended it themselves. And that's why it's at the bottom of this foxhole. He could have dug in here and just, to keep pushing up the hill. Took it from a Nazi. I don't know, but there's a whole end block.
And this is just one foxhole. There's a whole line of foxholes that goes all the way down to that hunter's stand.
So I'm gonna keep rooting around, because if the stuff's out here, I'm gonna dig it. But this is nuts. We are hot on the trail. It's when you think about it, we conceptualized which route the Rangers would have taken to get up to this point, and it took us a while to root around, and we're right behind them. This is really cool. I'm gonna keep pressing while we still have some light left, and I'll see you guys out there, man. It turns out several of the fuse pieces that I thought were mortar parts, it turns out they were components to a 75mm high explosive German artillery round. I was able to piece together some pieces here, and as you could see, I was able to distinguish it with all the various threaded components. It put it together to where you could really see what the top of this artillery piece looked like. The shrapnel I found near the M1 Garand parts, turns out it was shrapnel from an artillery round. My favorite find by far was the M1 Garand operating handle. It was in really rough shape and it's really beat up, but it's my first real gun component that I've ever found. And what better way? I started finding World War II finds when I first got into metal detecting, and this is just a staple as far as World War II memorabilia goes. The shell casings, along with all the other rounds that I found, were in fact M1 Garand American-made rounds. The rings on the bottom were from a different manufacturer than what I was used to finding, but they definitely are American rounds. These are a couple of the rounds that came from that busted end block that I found on the hill with Tessay. The end block I found in Germany at the bottom of that foxhole was a really great find. It showed where our guys were on that hill, and this is some rounds that I have found in the past and put in a still World War II surplus end block. The one that was actually found in Germany is actually on its way to Texas to actually go to my buddy's personal collection. He's a really huge World War II fan, and I'm sure I'll make many trips back to Germany and have an opportunity to dig another end block. But he is just a huge fan, and he's a really good friend of mine. I've served in the military with him a few years back. He got out and moved back to Texas, so that's going to reside in his collection. Here's a picture of the end block after I got it all cleaned up before I sent it down to Texas. This is one of the many mortar tails that I found during my trip, and it turns out they are all German. So the Americans were just getting pounded on that hillside by German artillery. It was, mortars, it was artillery pieces, like I said earlier with that fuse, that 75 millimeter high explosive shell. They were just getting demolished on that hillside, but still they made it to the top and they beat the Nazis. So I'm hoping I can go back to that site at a future date and hopefully find out where those Nazis were hiding. On the left there is the round that I found in Germany, and on the right is a 50 cal round that I found in the US, which leads me to believe that the round I did find was a 50 cal. Where it was being fired at, I'm not 100% sure. It could have been after the Americans took the hill and they were using it to defend the hill. I couldn't really tell you. I really need to get back out there and continue to dig that site to really get this mystery to unfold. But I had a really great time in Germany, and I really hope to get back there soon and get another dig.